Oh, it's a good question. How does hypothyroid depression interface with this? Well, you can have depression just from low thyroid hormone function. And you get depression of all metabolic function when you get hypothyroidism. But one of the things we know about from talking about session 2, right brain, left brain activities, the left brain is related to the thyroid. And when you have a lot of emotional stuff going on, that's more the right brain. And when you don't have enough left brain to match it, the thyroid activity in the left brain being low allows the right brain to kind of escape sometimes. I mean, that's just a piece of it. I'm sure that that's a piece that other people don't talk about, but that's a piece that I see. And then when you get the thyroid functioning working, you also will increase the metabolic activity of the cells everywhere in the body, including in the brain, and that might help those certain cells which are sluggish, which are not firing to help the mood as well. There are some other pathways that are related to. Anybody else know the other reasons why thyroid affects depression? When you get the thyroid low, why the thyroid impacts patients with depression sometimes? Any other mechanisms for that? Could there be a tyrosine involvement? Well, that's an interesting thing. You should mention that. I think there's the reason I asked that question just a moment ago is I think that there's another mechanism that operates there somewhere, but I'm not sure about that, so that's why I asked. Well, you could have excess copper, which will inhibit the thyroid, absolutely. And there are papers which talk about copper toxicity in mental illness, even in schizophrenia and in depression. So scoliosis, well, that's true. Scoliosis, copper activity is high in scoliosis. But as far as tyrosine, it's an interesting thing. And if we look at the links between the nervous system and the body chemistry, we see that tyrosine is the essential amino acid. It is a non-essential amino acid because the body can make it from the essential amino acid phenylalanine. But tyrosine becomes essential for making all the catecholamines, which are basically uppers, and for thyroid hormone, which is basically an upper. Tryptophan is necessary for serotonin and melatonin, which are basically downers for the most part. And tryptophan is necessary for the downers in the central nervous system, being serotonin, and the major downer in the hormone system being melatonin. So the tyrosine and tryptophan are precursors for the major tyrosine uppers in both the hormonal system and the CNS, neurotransmitter system. Tryptophan is necessary for the major downer, one of the major downers, serotonin, and the major downer, melatonin, in the neurotransmitter and hormonal system on the other side. So it's interesting they have those precursors there.